lot of the sales process of these contractors is that they write out the bid, they put out the estimate. Some of them are in the home, right?
Mhm.
For example, yesterday, one of my clients had an appointment for like a $45,000 bath, like basement remodel. It was like maybe the kitchen as well. Like it was a big project, right?
Okay.
And so they wrote it up, $45,000, and
Yeah,
then the homeowner says that's that's really expensive, right? And
I agree.
then
Yeah,
they didn't understand how to kind of react to that, so then they dropped the price to 41,000, and then the homeowner was still like, that's still a lot of money, right? So I tried to explain to them how we can kind of clarify what did they exactly mean by, okay, that's pretty expensive. Like, what do they mean by that
correct.
exactly
Yep.
of the
Okay.
company, right? So for you, when someone's like, that's expensive,
I agree.
how you say,
I
I agree.
agree. I agree. It's expensive.
Yeah.
Now,
And they
with that
usually,
being said, in the quote in the bid, maybe we remove the terracotta tile and replace it with fucking linoleum. No, I want the terracotta. Okay. Do you need the granite countertops? Let's just go for mica. You go, no, I want the granite countertops. Okay. Um, Custom cabinetry? You can probably scoop something up at IKEA and just nail it to the wall. You go, no, I want the custom cabinetry. Okay. So Nick, it sounds to me that the bid or the quote matches your expectations and what you're looking for.
Mhm.
So unless we come back on what you want me to price it or how you want me to price it, the price is the price.
Mhm. And then a lot of customers will say, well, it's just that it's just not in the budget right now. Like I didn't expect it to be that much.
Okay, what did you expect it to be, Nick? In all fairness.
I think like I think we had a budget of like 35, maybe 30, $35,000 for this.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So now your contractor has to make a decision. Does he want to do it for 35, right? Or
Hmm.
going back to the table and saying, well, look, what we could do is this. For that 35, I can run some numbers and let's go through it again. But let me ask you a question, Nick. How many quotes and bids have you received?
Uh, this is the second one. Like I'm gonna get one more, so I'm gonna get three bids.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is my bid in line with the previous one you got?
Well, I think they were kind of gonna do the same thing, but it would have been like a little bit less than what you're saying.
Okay, when you say a little bit less, like what does that mean? And then you
Like,
say similar, like what does that mean as well? Right.
well, I think it was about the same thing, but they were saying I could do it for like 40,000. So I'm like, why is it
Okay.
45 now? Right.
Yeah, I mean it's a good question. Would you be open to sharing that bid with me just to make sure that everything I'm pricing out is accurate to what they priced out?
Mhm.
And then when they hand over the bid, you're going to see what? A difference. They quoted different pricing on certain other things. They removed the terracotta and replaced it with vinyl. They did all these other things, right? Assuming that your client is bidding competitively.
Mhm.
Okay. So then they make the adjustments and say, yeah, the way that they have it outlined here, it's different than what I outlined, but I could see how they priced it at what they priced it at.
Mhm.
So we could do the same. So it's now whether or not they're going to go forward. And then the other thing too is like, well, if their bid's in line, my bid's in line. I mean, is it safe to assume, Nick, that the third person's going to be in line?
Yeah, it's probably gonna be around the same, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that being said, I mean, how soon are you looking to start the project?
We're just probably gonna think about it. We're probably gonna start at the beginning of spring, so give it like a month here, maybe in May. We'll do it
Okay.
then.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when we come back in May, we're going to have to go ahead and reprice it because the cost of materials have been changing.
Mhm.
Would it go up? Potentially. Would it come down? Potentially. So when you mentioned that you had a budget for it, I guess my apologies. You mean you just need a few more months to save, and then you'll have the budget, or do you currently have the budget to do something? But it's like
Yeah.
but do you like okay, so if the quote's coming up high, then I just start removing shit.
Mhm.
Well, let's swap this out for this. No, I want that. Well, let's swap this out for that. No, I want that. Other people do too in the contracting business is they go, look,
Mhm.
Nick, we can go ahead and spin circles, running around going a lot of back and forth, right? I just want to be clear on two things. Number one, you do have budget ready available. Is that correct? They go, yep. And it sounds to me that you're looking to save as much as you can, correct? Budget
Mhm.
is a concern, correct? And they go, yeah. Say, I agree with you in both of those elements. I can work with that. So we can keep having a circular conversation. But Nick, it sounds to me you already have a price in mind and you already had a bid. So why don't you show me the bid that you'd gotten and then share the price with me and I can make it work. Then we can go ahead and start on Thursday.
That sounds fair. Let's
Yeah.
try and figure something out.
Yeah. But do you like some of
Mhm.
these people are listen, contractors, if they don't think they're losing business because they're being undercut, they are fooling themselves. If they think when they walk out the door that they're going to be entered back into the property to actually get the project, it can happen occasionally, but they're giving all control to the actual prospect. They're not taking control of the conversation. And if we're giving up all control, then why are we shocked when we're only closing 1 out of 50 or 1 out of 10, you know?
Mhm.
Because it runs into a situation in the construction game. Yeah, they have certain margins and hard costs, but it's like if they expect to go home run after home run after home run, they're passing up on a lot of money. You know, the time that their crew isn't working, they're bleeding cash. So as long as they can definitively come back and break everything down, and the thing is a timeline question. Do they even engage in that?
Right. It's like so important to get that tie down.
You,
So
dude, you have to.
yeah.
You have to. Last thing I'm going to mention is this: is as they're going through and doing estimate and quotes, you want to be, and here's how I know, Nick, is I had a failed construction company. Okay, I'm not embarrassed to admit it, right? But it's like as I was doing the bid and the quote and the estimate, I had the person in my pocket right next to me. And you point out certain things, ooh, this here, how long has this been a problem? You know, and then you step on the floorboard and you're like, dude, it's weak. We'll probably have to go ahead and strengthen that. That's fine. But you're picking out all the nicks and crannies, like making it seem like it's just, wow, there's a lot of work to be done. Then the price isn't so much. But if they scurry off and the prospect's like, I want to get out of your hair, you go ahead and do what you do. No, no, no. Come with me. Let's walk through it together. And they're explaining the process and building a rapport and asking questions and be like, okay, so now they're 20% into it. And it's like, well, Nick, just out of curiosity, when are you and Amanda looking to have this taken care of? Because I want to make sure I have the opening on my calendar. They're like, we're looking to start as soon as possible. Perfect. So why should I go home run on this one? Price it fair, do the bid. There's going to be a negotiation process because it always fucking happens on these larger projects. And pull them. Like, pull them. Because for depending on what depending on what parts of their home they want to do, like the most value I believe is in kitchen and bathrooms, right?
Yeah, those are big money makers for most of our clients. Kitchen
Yeah.
and bathroom.
Yep, kitchen and bathroom. So it's like, we're gonna find out the update. Like, what's the whole vision of the update? Is it structured to like how much longer are you gonna live in the property? Are we looking for durability long term? Are we just looking for an update for the next whatever? Do we want something that is always gonna be in style for the next 20 fucking years? Like, what exactly are we looking for? And they'll explain to you, well, we're gonna do a kitchen remodel, and then we're gonna hold on to the home for the next 8 months. Our realtor told us it gives this much appreciation and we're already shopping for other homes and we're going to leverage that. This is the update that's going to give us the most bang for the buck. Okay. But if you know the backstory as to why they're looking to do it, that adds value. If you're trying to find out, you got to ask a timeline question, because I promise you, anybody that knew the economy and the pricing was going to go head in this direction, brother, they would have gotten that fucking roof fixed that retaining wall, they would have gotten all that stuff squared away like 2.5 years ago. But a lot of these people sat on the money, and I'm just going to wait it out and see what happens. And the pricing doubled, almost tripled in some situations. So that should be the easiest thing to overcome. I'm going to wait for 6 more months. It's like, brother, if we look at the graph, price of materials and everything's been going up. Everything, right? Like it's an emotional purchase. It's the largest investment that anybody makes in their life is buying a home. So it's very sacred to them,
Mhm.
right? And if you're just going through and just writing like oxy scripts, you know, with no emotion and not trying to bond with them, brother, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. It's no different in construction as it is with agency, as it is with anything. Most people lose the business because they don't connect with the prospect. So they just got to figure that out. They just got to figure it out. Anything else, Nick?
That was really helpful.
Okay.
So you just delivered a bunch of value to me and to all my customers. Thank you.